I love those.
Okay, so this is the character discussion first. Um, so the main characters that we came up with were Donna, Vic, Steve, Joe, and Charity. We thought that those were the most relevant to analyze. So, would you feel that Donna's most outstanding quality is?
I definitely think it's her parental instinct to protect Tad because for the majority of the book, they're stuck in the car, and everything she does is to get her son to safety, which I think is the most prominent in this story.
Right, I'd agree. I mean, that was one of the ones that I thought of, but also, I mean, you could also kind of look at her as selfish because of how she, obviously, because of how she like treats Vic, and she just kind of put her needs above other people throughout the book.
Right, I would say she was also so selfish with the
Mhm.
cheating. It's a stark contrast, because she's really selfish with her marriage, but with her son, she like almost gave her life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's like selfless.
Mhm.
So it's interesting to see how two polar opposites in the same character.
How did you feel that she like drove the story?
Um, Definitely, her actions put kind of her and Tad in that dangerous situation of being in the car because she is the one that drove them up there. She's the one that made kind of make leave and like they were on bad terms. And so I think she drove the story through like what she chose to do.
Right. So then the other question, are they reliable? I said no for that one because I felt like throughout the book, she kind of just, I mean, her character ended up making other characters upset quite often, and that goes back to kind of the selfishness piece. So I said she wasn't very reliable.
No, I wouldn't rely on her for mine.
Yeah.
Because if you put your own needs above like other people's needs, not that you should put other people above you, but like if there's no trust, they're not reliable.
Right.
No, I think you guys covered everything.
Okay.
The
Vic?
The second character was Vic. So Jessica, what do you think his most outstanding quality was?
Vic?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I feel like he was a very forgiving character. That's the best way I can think of to describe it.
Yeah.
He never really got angry about anything, and whenever something came up, he'd always be like, "Oh, it's my fault," or just like forgive them pretty easily.
No, I totally agree. Like when he found out Donna was like cheating on him, he didn't storm off. He didn't like leave. Well, I mean, he left his business trip, but he didn't like leave in that big like grand tantrum that most people do. He kind of was really sad about it. Like
Right. I mean, I pretty much had the same things you guys. I just said it like a harsher way. I just said, yeah, I said push over.
yeah, like she cheated on him, broke his heart, and then at the end of the book, he's like, "I still love you." I'm like, wow, what a win.
Yeah, and then as far as Vic driving the story, I thought that he kind of served to show the difference between different types of struggles in life. Like there's like the financial struggles and kind of the more worldly problems versus like life and death struggles. Life and death struggles, like when Donna and Ted was stuck in the car with Cujo.
Right, because the book would toggle between like him trying to keep the sharp account, and then like Donna being bitten by a rabid dog.
Right.
So I think, yeah, like you said, he was there to show how different problems can be.
Mm-hmm.
So is he reliable? I said yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't like screw over anybody hard. Like,
that's true. I mean, as much as he like probably should have been tougher sometimes, I think that he definitely is reliable.
like I think there was a quote. I don't know the specific page, but he's like, I could take Tad and run. He's like, but I'm not going to use my own kid as a pawn in like this marriage. So he was able to rationally think about things and not do anything out of spite, which is that's pretty reliable.
Yeah. Talk about it, Steve.
Yeah, we can talk about Steve. All right.
Great. Steve.
I think we can all agree his most outstanding quality was anger.
Yep.
I mean, that's all we saw. We saw him the fight with Donna. We saw him write the note. We saw him break everything in their house, like completely destroy it.
And that was pretty much like his main role in the story. He pretty much pushed the story forward by just causing the strain on Donna and Vic's marriage. I think that was like his
Right.
central role.
That's definitely, I think, how he influenced other characters also. Like, he caused a lot of emotional distress
That's
between,
true.
like, Vic and Donna. And, yeah, between Vic and Donna because he is the person that brought to light their affair. And he creates that. And Donna's really scared of him. Like, she
Right.
pees her pants. And so, Jessica, do you think he was reliable?
Kinda, but not in a good way.
Elaborate.
He always does what he said he would. He never lies about what he's gonna do, but
Right.
they're not very good things to do.
Right, like
That's true.
he said he was gonna write the note, and he wrote the note. He followed through. Like, he didn't do anything to deceive people, even though what he said, like you said, wasn't good.
Right. Joe?
Yeah, we can do Joe. All right.
So I thought that Joe's most outstanding quality as a character was him being controlling.
Yeah.
He's pretty much the reason, like indirectly, that Donna and Tad ended up trapped in the car because they were going to his house to get the car fixed, and then he ended up not there because he took the kind of secret vacation to Boston, right? Boston, I think.
I think he's dead.
Well, right, but
Oh,
he
but
planned
he
to
planned
take
on
the trip.
to,
Yeah.
Right, because he was a cheap person to go get their car. Not cheap person, excuse me, but
Yeah, some of them.
a cheap place to go to get their car fixed, and so that's the whole reason why Donna and Tad were up there in the first place.
Right.
Like, I think that was kind of his main role in the story, was just kind of giving the place setting of where this was going to take place.
What do you think about his influence on Brett?
Well, on page 269, there's a quote, and it's Charity speaking about Brett, and it's an unformed dread had began to swirl around inside of her, connected somehow with Joe, and it was in reference to Brett talking about Charity's sister's husband and like how he was showing off all his things, and she could hear Joe's snarkiness come through Brett. So I think it shows the great influence that like a parental figure has on their kid and how the kid will adopt like mannerisms and be like the parent.
Right.
So I think that's showing how he was able to influence Brett. And also he influenced Charity by kind of controlling her with fear and abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a big thing.
Yeah. And before we get to her, I just said that he was not a reliable character because obviously he lied to Charity about his intentions when she was gone. And
Definitely not. A drunk is not reliable.
that's true.
True.
Alright, so
Charity,
yeah. What did you guys think was her most outstanding quality?
did you have one for me? Otherwise, I can...
I don't have anything specifically written down, but I thought she was a bit like manipulative in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was like very prominent, but it was definitely there.
Deceiving.
Yeah, deceiving is like what I was thinking, because even though she's kind of like allows herself to stay in a abusive relationship, there is a bit of like two-way manipulation. She definitely does.
Right. On
Okay,
page
Joe.
134, she says, "You let him go down with me to Connecticut, and I'll let him go up to Moosehead with you come deer hunting season."
Mm-hmm.
So you can see she's kind of bargaining with her son, which we saw Vic didn't do actually.
Right.
He didn't use his kid as like a pawn where Charity did. But she's like, if you let me do this, then you can have him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very manipulative to use a kid in your own life.
That's true.
um,
So how do you think she drives the story?
well, plain and simple, her and Brett being gone, again, allow the dog attack to happen. Because if they were there, it wouldn't have happened.
Right, yeah.
Stephen King needed to get all three of those people out of the house so that they would be stuck in isolation.
Right.
So is she reliable?
I mean, would you trust someone who uses the child as a bargaining chip? Because I would.
I would like, and this is me playing devil's advocate right now.
Yeah.
I think most people are selfish, but not intentionally. But I think most people would kind of do what she did.
Yeah.
You could, I mean, of course there are good people, but if people want what they want and they will use whatever to kind of get it. I don't think she purposely was like, you know what, I'm going to use my son in this argument. I think that it was just a strategy that happened to be very selfish of her.
That's true.
But I don't think she's reliable. Because she, even when she was gone away from Joe, she was like, oh, should I leave? Should I stay? Should I stay in this abusive relationship? And she wasn't very sure of herself in any decision, which isn't reliable.
Right.
All right. 2 questions. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, which character? Our first question is: which character deserves the most sympathy in this story?
Well, it's kind of like an obvious answer, but I would think that Tad would deserve the most sympathy because
Ted.
I mean, yeah, like he obviously had no way
Died.
to fight for himself, and he was definitely thrown in the middle of a bunch of family and into family drama that resulted in his death.
Right.
He had it pretty bad.
And he was always scared of the monsters, and then the monster came true, and then that's how he died. That's an awful way to go.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel the most sympathy for Vic also, because he seems like a nice person, like kind of your average Joe. He loved his wife, he loved his kid. He really got screwed over by cheating.
Right.
And so my heart always goes out to those people because it just like destroys a person's life, and he'll always have to live with that, along with the death of his kid.
Yeah, no, he just got the bad. He got a bad hand.
Tad is dead. He doesn't have to live with it. He's gone.
The other question that we had was kind of like a breakdown question, just kind of like identifying roles. So the victim in the story, and maybe like the protagonist and the antagonist. I think the victim. There's multiple victims in the story. Obviously,
there's so many victims.
Tad is
There's
one.
a lot of victims.
You could
Tad's
see
a victim of death.
right. You could see Vic is a probable victim because of his wife's cheating on him. Obviously, Joe and Gary are victims of Cujo, death as well.
Charity is a victim of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could almost infer for Joe and Steve that they have to be a victim of something. Joe's a victim of alcohol.
Yeah.
Steve is probably a victim of like
Probably.
Emotional trouble.
I was going to say
There was a line in there.
abused or something.
Yeah,
as a
there
kid.
was a line in there where he was going off on Donna about how she doesn't care about his feelings. Yeah, it was on page 63. He was just yelling at her. What you mean is that a little itch. You had a little itch and now it's scratched, right? Who gives a crap about how I feel? So yeah, you can say he's a victim of like emotional troubles.
They definitely went through something in childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Donna and Vic are both victims of the death of a child. That's going to haunt them. So I think you can say every character is a victim in their own way.
Yeah.
And then, would you say anybody's kind of the protagonist in
I
this story?
feel like Donna is technically the protagonist or the closest thing we would get to it.
I would agree.
Because usually the protagonist is the one who fights the villain in the end. and that's what she
Right.
does.
I mean, Donna.
I'm not sure Cujo's really the villain though. I feel like
Cujo's a victim of rabies.
Yeah.
Side note, I feel that's why I think deserves the most sympathy.
Poor
was
dog
just-
didn't want to do anything.
No, he was just a sweet dog, and he's like, I love everybody, and then he's bitten, and now he's like, I'm gonna kill everybody, and he had no control over it.
I don't even think he really wanted to kill anybody. I think he
It was
just
the
like
disease.
overwhelmed completely.
The rabies is an awful disease, just side note. Right. But then we'll just finish up. So antagonist, definitely Steve. I would put him there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything good.
That's true. Just made it harder for Donna.
Yeah. Especially like threatening to. Did he push her? He pushed her.
Yeah.
That's not cool. And Joe, I'd kind of put. But Joe didn't do anything to like. I'd give it to Steve. All right.
Good.
Yep, I think we're good.